Morning.
You have not been a police officer your entire life, right?
No, I have not been a police officer my entire life.
You mentioned that you worked at Rock the World. Well, you didn't get an official interview before working at Rock the World, did you?
What do you mean by official interview?
Let me be more clear, Detective Kimball. When you first met Longstreet, you were hired on the spot, right?
Well, yes, he knew of my intention to join the force, and he likes having something like that around.
No interview?
Well, he spoke to me, but no interview process. He knew I was going to join the force, and he's happy to help out.
Now, you mentioned that your mother had some health issues when you were working at Rock the World. Well, knowing that, Longstreet let you pick your hours, right?
Well, other people helped me out, too, at the security office. People were really helpful there. They let me kind of get home to help them out.
Detective Kimball, J.C. Longstreet, park owner, allowed you to pick your hours. Yes?
Yes.
He allowed you to leave to go take care of your mother whenever you needed to, right?
Yes, I think that was very reasonable of him.
Now, after you graduated from the police academy, well, J.C. Longstreet, he threw you a party.
That's correct.
Now, you don't even know where you would be if it hadn't been for J.C. Longstreet giving you that
Objection,
job.
Your Honor, relevance.
Respond, Your Honor.
You may.
This directly goes to the credibility of this witness, specifically potential bias, and credibility is always an issue.
May I be heard, Your Honor?
One moment, counsel. How does this directly go, the witness's credibility?
The fact that he did an investigation for Longstreet, potential bias could be present in his report, and the jury needs to understand this.
Counsel?
Your Honor, we made no mention of J.C. Longstreet in any investigation that the officer did on behalf of him during this witness's direct examination, and J.C. Longstreet is not a party in today's case. It makes no fact more or less likely.
Counsel?
Your Honor, during direct examination, this witness stated that he did an investigation after getting a call from Rock the World being owned by J.C. Longstreet.
Okay, Councilman Klein to agree. Objection overruled.
Now, after graduating from the police academy, J.C. Longstreet threw you a party.
Yes.
Now, you don't even know where you would be if it hadn't been for J.C. Longstreet to give you that job at Rock the World, right?
Yeah, if I didn't get that job, I don't know.
Now, after working for 10 years, it was J.C. Longstreet who called you, right?
Yeah.
He asked you to look into his park's financial records.
That's correct.
You didn't do this as a formal investigation to begin, right?
No, he asked me to take a look at him as a favor, but as soon as I determined that there was something off, I went ahead and opened an official investigation.
Now, when you were doing this as more of a favor to begin with, you found the similar findings of Haley Floyd. There was a problem in the park's revenue, right?
Yes, there was a discrepancy.
Now, you determined that it could have been either accounting or sales.
Yes.
It wasn't accounting, was it?
It didn't appear to be.
It had to do with sales,
Sales transactions, yes.
specifically the ticket booth.
That's correct.
In 2012, Karen Poole's working the ticket booth.
Yes.
In the financial records in 2011, did you notice any discrepancy there?
No, I used 2011 to indicate a discrepancy in 2012.
My question was, did you notice any discrepancies in 2011?
No.
In 2010, did you notice any discrepancy there?
No, I did not.
It wasn't until 2012 where you began to notice discrepancies with Rock the World's finances.
That's correct.
Now, you found that it was Karen Poole working the ticket booth, and you told Longstreet to replace him with Haley Floyd.
Yes, that is what I recommended.
As soon as this was done, everything appeared to be normal, right?
Yes, sales returned to normal.
Now, Whitney Bone, she doesn't work at the ticket booth in 2012, did she?
No.
She was a ride operator.
Yeah, she was a ride operator for, I believe, the hamster wheel,
This was totally two separate areas of the park, right?
which was weird why she was at the Tunnel of Terror on August 30th.
Detective Kimball, my question was, these are two different parts of the park, right? The hamster wheel and the ticket booth, right?
Oh, the ticket booth. Yeah, that's on the complete opposite side.
Now, I want to talk about something that's a little sensitive, something you mentioned earlier. Now, you know Officer Winnie Thomas.
Yes.
Now, other than your dad, he's the best guy you have ever known in your entire life.
Yes, he's a man of very high character.
Now, you have a very high respect for this man, right?
Of course I do.
In 2012, you saw him chasing Karen Poole.
That's correct.
Well, when you finally caught up to him, was he chasing Karen Poole?
No, like I said, I found him unconscious in the tunnel.
Well, your stomach sank when you saw Officer Thomas on the ground. Isn't that right?
Of course, yeah.
Whitney Bowman, she even was upset when Officer Thomas was hurt on that
Objection,
day,
Your
right?
Honor, speculation.
Counsel?
And my question was, Whitney Bowman seemed that she was upset about Officer Thomas being hurt. This witness can testify to their rationally based perception pursuant to Rule 701.
Counsel, we don't have a stenographer here, but I don't believe that that was your question. I believe you stated he was upset. Counsel,
Your Honor, that was my understanding of opposing counsel's question, that Whitney Bowman was upset.
with that, the objection is sustained. Please rephrase your question.
Yes, Your Honor. Even Whitney Bowman seemed upset when Officer Thomas got hurt. Isn't that right?
You can say that.
Now, after you found out that he was still okay, Whitney Bowman was still okay, well, you knew that you had to hold someone accountable for the pain that Officer Thomas occurred. Isn't it yes or no?
Counselor, if you're trying to question my bias in this, as you said earlier, I would never sacrifice the integrity.
Excuse me, Detective Kimball. I'm asking you that you knew that someone had to be held accountable for the pain that Officer Thomas suffered. Yes or no?
Of course.
No further questions, Your Honor.